Russian soldiers preparing to be sent to fight in Ukraine are required to buy personal equipment at their own expense, according to several servicemen who spoke to the Moscow Times Russian service on condition of anonymity. Some of the items apparently not provided by the army include footwear, body armor, bandages and tourniquets. If they issue you a field uniform, you're in luck, you can save some money. We still have to buy the jacket and pants, at least as a change of clothing. I'll be happy if our outlay on the uniforms pays off and we don't get screwed out of our paycheck, said one contract serviceman with Russia's National Guard, Rogvardia. The men interviewed by the Moscow Times said they were promised a monthly salary of about $3,365 if they signed a contract to join the Russian troops fighting in Ukraine, but that they would have to buy all their gear themselves. A level 4 combat vest, which can stop pistol and rifle rounds as well as shrapnel, costs on average $1,200. A helmet is another $160. Decent boots are about $80, and you really need 2 pairs. A tactical vest costs from $80 to $160. And you also have to buy a jacket, pants, t-shirts and pullovers. That comes out to about $3,365, said the Rogvardia serviceman. A Russian soldier in a military unit near the Ural Mountains told the Moscow Times that almost no equipment was provided for those heading to Ukraine. We have to buy everything ourselves, with our own money. I'm not even talking about modern body armor and helmets. There are no warm clothes, no dry rations or first aid kits, he said. All the equipment we are fighting with in Ukraine stinks of mothballs, and the weapons jam. Also on sale is 6 B-45 body armor, the standard Russian military armor being used in Ukraine, for around $100, along with high-grade special ops helmets and granite bulletproof coverings. It leads to so many problems, he added. Another truck, from 2005, is on sale for just over $200,000 and comes with windows and doors that have a ballistic resistance level and correspond to the armor level of the car body. The ad reads, it provides protection for the crew from secondary armor fragments when armor-piercing bullets, shell fragments and mines hit the hull. The seller, who will only do business over the phone, writes. It also comes fit with a khaki interior and can accommodate 9 people, including the driver, and appears to have been sold 2 times previously on Avito. One photo on the advert shows a man in casual clothes filling up the gigantic truck at a gas station, past full mo. Write and call on business. The ad from Moscow ends. It's not clear whether the vehicle was purloined from the Russian army, but it does show how easily it is for Avito buyers to get their hands on military-grade vehicles. Russian troops fighting in Ukraine have reportedly been forced to buy basic equipment at their own expense. It has been reported that Putin's men could have to spend their entire monthly wage on basic equipment, and those that have gear have complained about how flimsy the equipment is, with pictures showing basic tin helmets easily crushed underfoot, let alone being shredded by shrapnel. Dr. Rod Thornton, a leading security expert at King's College London, said that corruption has always been a massive issue for Russia but has shot out of control since the war in Ukraine. He said Russian generals clean off a lot of the defense budget for themselves, possibly to the tune of billions of dollars. This was having an immediate knock-on effect on soldiers who are being given substandard kit while more expensive materials are sold online. It means that Russian troops will be given substandard equipment. That's the first thing they'll notice. Things like the ammunition won't work, the senior lecturer said. It also follows reports that Russia's tinpot army has been forced to use off-the-shelf cameras, gamepads, and sat-navs to fix up its planes and drones. And while you can buy high-end military armored cars, desperate Russians have been creating Mad Max vehicles with extra armor bolted on in fear of being wiped up by anti-tank NLAW missiles. It's gotten so bad, Mr. Evans said, that troops are resorting to crowdfunding to raise money for vital supplies such as helmets, radios, backpacks, camouflage nets, sleeping bags, travel mats, and even bulletproof vests. Ukrainian Defense Intelligence reported in mid-April that Russian soldiers were arriving in Ukraine with decommissioned body armor, rotten fabric and rusted plates. And it doesn't stop there. Russian bloggers have called on donations of boxes of socks, t-shirts and thermals to be sent to servicemen in Ukraine after they were left without cold weather gear and waterproof clothing. One Russian influencer, who goes by the name Ravitos on V-Contacta, Russia's version of Facebook, called on followers to donate 6 B-43 combined arms bulletproof vests after receiving requests from troops. The extended kit was supplied to the units in a very limited way. A post from September 1st read, "This is a cry for help on the topic of armor. because he himself, sick, has already lost hope of conveying it to our superiors. He goes on to claim, additional sets of armor were rotting in warehouses. I want to scream, but it's useless. Mr. Cranny Evans said it was no surprise people were turning to online marketplaces to buy basic equipment. He said Russian troops are receiving personal medical kits which have not changed since the 1960s, which typically consist of one rubber tourniquet, one bandage, a few purifying tablets, and a painkiller. And he also said Russian officers tend to use military vehicles without consent and run them down. What will often happen is that the commander of a battalion will tell one of his junior officers to drive into town to buy flowers for his wife and his girlfriend, and the junior officer thinks up ways he can get away with it without spending his own money, he said. So, he'll do two things. He'll take money from a conscript and then drive a military vehicle to go buy these things and comes back and gives it to the senior officer. A process which runs down to the lowest ranks of the army, Sam claimed. What you get is people using military vehicles on a very regular basis to do errands which shouldn't be done, so when it comes to actually going to train in those vehicles, they've actually been used a lot more than they're supposed to have been without servicing, and there's no fuel in them. It seems so benign. He also said Russian commanders screwed up the modernization of army comms. They were supposed to funnel cash into buying two types of tactical radios that would have been impenetrable to outside interference. Instead, billions of rubles were creamed off, and only a small number of radios were delivered, which meant troops had to crowdsource to buy one or resorted to using their mobile phone in the battlefield. Russia's Ministry of Defense has been contacted for comment. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons so you can be alerted to our next video. We'll see you again soon on Warzone.
Соответственно, мне выдали 45 размера, мой размер берц 42. За этого родители покупали берцы.